Ah, man, it feels good. Welcome back, everybody, to another
Good try. Keep it pro.
welcome back to another episode of Tunnel Talks. I am your host, Matt, today, and I am with Boo and Pat as usual. It's great to see you guys.
Great to see you.
Great to see you, Matt.
We're back.
Thank you. We were swelling it up at the gym this morning.
That's right. Back in the game. iFly Workout Club. We're in it.
So, Pat, did you hear when Pat was talking about how he had never even? This is the first time he had been to like a
Public
actual
gym.
Yeah.
an off base gym in like decades, probably
decade plus.
15,
13, 14 years, something like that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I've been again. I just retired at the end of April and just doing the old thing over at the Marine Special Operations Compound and on base in Camp Lejeune for for almost my entire career. But I remember we're over at Planet Fitness. Shout out to Planet Fitness
on South Car.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with how nice like the whole place was, like the bathrooms especially. I was like, dang.
That whole place, I think from May 5th or a couple of days after May 5th for 6 weeks, they shut down and remodeled it
Like this summer.
this recently.
Oh wow, okay.
So that's
Makes sense.
all been revamped up.
And those massage chairs, dude. I would
yeah.
join
Just
I'd do
for the chairs.
Yes, I'd be like, I work out every once in a while.
Well, they got everything over there. Yeah, I've been on the base gyms and all that, and you go through there, and we got incredible equipment and access and stuff on that. But if I remember, like the last time I ever went to one of those public gyms, I mean, they like monthly memberships. I remember used to be like $80, $100. So I was always kind of like hesitant to go, and I just had the access to base.
Most of them, I feel like, still are.
Yeah,
Except
and
not Planet Fitness though.
$25.99 for the top of the line package, all that access. So
Look like
And
you
that
got
gives
a great tan today.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. While Boo and I were enjoying the massage chairs, we saw Pat slipping out of one of the tanning.
it was not the tanning room. It
rooms.
was the red light therapy. So,
Oh, I heard about the red light district. I'm from the West Coast. I know what we're talking about. That was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah,
and
we're
hopefully
gonna keep
we
it going.
Yeah, hopefully we can turn it into.
A weekly, weekly training.
yeah, everywhere from probably I think we'll probably make it between 8:30 and 10:30. I think that's when I'll be down there. So you'll see the iFly crew at Planet Fitness for the foreseeable future. So if you're over there, you see us, please come say hi.
Yep. And any other time you smell sex appeal near Market and South Car, it's probably the iFly team. Yeah. And I also appreciate the fact that Boo, like how you literally your workout routine is all centered around free flying and the muscle groups that you use, which you say every movement is centered from the your core.
A lot of the exercises. I know I look like a goofball in there, walking around with leg weights on, and
I live to look like a goofball, so.
but I really don't care. There's a method to what I'm trying to do, and like a lot of times I would say, we're not using our muscle, we're using our tension to lift the muscle or to lift the weight.
Mhm.
And a lot of flying is adding tension to your body, right? If you're like trying to overpower it or over muscle the movement inside the wind or in the gym, I think you're doing it wrong.
Right.
That's just me personally. And I'm not a huge guy. I don't think I am, but
In Vietnam, you
I'm
are
definitely
Andre the Giant.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
No, it's
I'd
great.
say, Doi!
No, don't say that.
But it's the methodology, right? It's the functional fitness. I mean, I always go back to my military stuff, and one day I'll stop talking about it. But everything I did in the gym in my former career was functional fitness, right? And back in our original days, right? I remember when CrossFit came up, it was built as functional fitness, and all the muscle ups and all that stuff. All that stuff was used for a reason, and then it was refreshing, man. You're like, I do everything, all your purpose and your movements in the gym happen for a reason, and what for this particular topic too, that becomes very apparent the first time you ever get in a wind tunnel that you're flying, so everybody kind of thinks it's it's free, and it is. It's an amazing experience, but it is an entirely different set of muscles that you're using, and you're right. Even the slightest movement of a finger and or the angle of your forearm, the way you move your body. We all know this from skydiving, but certainly in the wind tunnel too. It can change you quick. And for indoor skydiving, of course, we always have our instructors in there to help and teach and improve, and for safety, of course, which is always paramount. But it's refreshing to see that we're not just going in there to get SWO. The bodybuilding days are over. Now it's functional fitness, right? And improved health. I always say I'm on the Tom Brady program, right? Just keep it lean, keep it good, but functional fitness.
Who has never had a very impressive body? Tom Brady.
Have you seen him run? He looks like a big giant giraffe.
I think he's doing all right though in life. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well,
Dude,
very well in life.
Dude, it's so comical when the draft of what was that 2001? I think the draft of 2001 is when he went.
Yeah.
But dude, when he's getting weight and everything, like I remember his body, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this guy's got like bitch tits. I'm like,
No,
but
who
it's
would've knew? Actually, one of my very close friends still in the military world, his brother was Tom Brady's personal chef who helped him develop the TB12 nutrition program.
really.
Yeah, up in
I'm
Massachusetts.
gonna pretend like I know what that is. But did you say TB Tango Bravo?
Yeah, TB12. That's his whole brand now, and he has everything from functional fitness to
Tom
nutrition
Brady.
and everything. Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's a good way to do it. But first time flying. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So I mean, I would imagine a majority of the business flow on average is going to be first time flyers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
That's the heavy lifting of the business.
right,
Yep.
just like at a drop zone where tandems kind of
tandems.
run the show. Yeah, people coming in just wanting to experience it that one time. I mean, I look back on the one time I've been to a wind tunnel, I fly SF Bay, and I mean, I was a skydiver at the time, so I mean,
You're a skydiver now.
right, but I felt like I knew what to expect when I got in there, like.
Sure.
And I was kind of like that jackass that was in the class. It's like, I was like, well, I'm a skydiver. And it was just like, dude, shut up, man. And of course, I get in there. Sarah, my wife, who has never jumped out of a plane, she did better in the tunnel than I did.
Yep.
Like, it was embarrassing. Like, I was potato chipping and freaking, I was just all over the place. And she got in there and was just like,
Sitting pretty. Yeah.
yeah, she did good. So let's dive. Can we dive into that?
Let's do it.
Like,
Sure.
what does it look like through, what can people experience? What are some of the, what's it called? The reservations they have about coming. But then also what how we're going to be looking at it as through instructor eyes with first time flyers.
Let me kick it on the kind of how the start of how you get there, and then with Rob Boo, his experience, again, 10 plus years in the business, specifically in iFlies and all over the world, standing up iFlies, running iFlies, and making them one of the best companies in the world. But from a first time flyer standpoint, again, a vast majority from a business side. Again, we're here for the experience and to just be good members of the community. But of course, it's a business, right? But how you get there. So online reservation based entirely. We could absolutely take people that
Walking off the street.
I mean, you could. That's just not really how it works, right? So we will be opening up. We're about 90 days out from opening our facility as we stand today in August 5th. Yep, and we're hot and heavy in building the team. But very shortly here, when we narrow down that exact day, first day opening, which we expect in the middle of October, knock on wood, and hoping the weather continues to hold out well for our construction. But middle of October. We expect to open, but we're very shortly here. We're going to announce the exact opening day, and what that will trigger is, we can already go online. You can go on to flywillingtonnc.com and or iflyworld.com and select our location and make a reservation, right? And then it'll just be a reservation code that you get emailed over to you. And when we open up the time slots that exact day, we're going to announce it. And then you go on there, and right now, people who purchase their packages now with a great deal, then a promotion that we're putting on, you just put in your reservation code, and then your time will come up, right? And it'll say, hey, at 12 o'clock on, for example, October 16th, or whatever the day is, because we've announced it, then you put in your reservation code, and you say, hey, at 12 o'clock, I'm booking my time, this many flyers, and then you'll get an automatic confirmation email over to you, online waiver. It just states hey, the inherent risks of it. Of course, a very safe indoor activity, but you'll sign a waiver, and then you'll, that when your time comes, you show up about what?
30 minutes prior.
Yeah, 30.
So
Go ahead. And then over to you, man.
if you're let's say you book at 12, well, it's kind of like going to the airport. If your plane leaves at 2 o'clock, you don't show up at 2 o'clock because your plane's already taken off.
Yeah.
Right? You got to show up, go check in, drop your baggage off, and for us, it's still the same check-in process, but this is about a 30-minute process prior to where things actually begin. So the moment that a group or however many a group or individuals come in, the moment you walk in till the moment you walk out, the whole experience is about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But everything operates in a 30-minute interval. And what I mean by that is planes take off with their passengers every 30 minutes. And prior to, once you arrive, you get grouped up with your plane, and then after that you're going to go get trained and suited and geared up, and then after that you're going to go one by one, taking turns flying in the wind tunnel with a certified IBA, International Body Flight Association instructor.
Yeah, so the check-in, you move over to the gear locker. So all of our gear, that's flight suits.
We're gonna have. Are there changing rooms at the wind tunnel, or it's just like overalls?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Throw it over your clothes. Yeah. Yeah, of course, we'll have areas to change if people need to if they want to do that. Right. You can bring your own suit if you have that. You can bring your own helmets, but all of the safety gear is there, provided for you, and part of your package. No additional cost for any of that stuff too. So check in, flight suit, meet your instructors, have a conversation, get geared up is what we call it at the gear station, and then move into a short class, right, to explain kind of the body flight experience.
I believe that the new process, even with where we're first off, we're a franchise wind tunnel, but I believe the process to streamline the guest experience is that corporate in advance, if I recall correctly, or what I've heard is that they send that training video in advance.
Yeah, they do. In that reservation now, it does. That training video is sent in that email, so you can watch it. But I think we're certainly committed to. That's part of the experience too, right? It's not, hey, get in, you've already seen the video and just fly and then leave. That's not what we're about. We're still going to go through that video.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit more streamlined version, but again, answer any. It's a 15-20 minute block, separate block. It's kind of 30, right, of your experience, and the last 30 being the flight. But we want to talk to you. We want to be engaged with you, understand, and answer any questions, whether that's flying or that's advancements, that's skills, other aspects of indoor body flight. We're open kimono. We love to talk to our community about it too. So go do that training session, that Q&A session. Watch again the same video. It's a couple-minute video, and then you're off into the wind tunnel with you guys, right? That's where you guys are flying with Rob Boo being our chief flight instructor, and Matt coming on as our
candidate
flight, technically a candidate, but flight instructor number one. That's your code name.
Oh,
unless you want 007, we can give you that too, man. So.
Double O negative, not 007.
But that's the general overview of the process. And again, Rob's been doing it for a decade plus, and best in the business, most highly qualified in the IBA in the entire world too. So very fortunate that Boo's on board.
Yeah, I am too. And dude, I don't know if I don't think I've told you or expressed it enough, but I am so grateful to have you as like my mentor.
I appreciate it, man. That's very kind. And you've been very open to anything that I've had to share with you. And I look forward to getting down to it and cascading all of this knowledge that has once been poured onto me from other senior guys that I've looked up to. And it's just kind of an evolution of things. And to dive into a little bit more about the training, one of the things that I have found, and it's taken me a long time to get to this point, and getting the right words and the right understanding, because coming in through training, people have reservations. They're nervous. The moment you walk in through the door, it's one wind tube, but you'll have some people that go, where are the other tubes? It's like, no, there's one. There's a lot put into this one. So a lot of what is to be expected kind of goes out the window. And but what I will share with you and what I share with my classes is I try to bring it back to a very simple understanding of what this is. And what I believe, and the way that I have found that even a 3-year-old can understand, is that being inside the wind tunnel is like floating in water.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment you can connect that to them, you see that the anxiety just drips off. Can you float? Even if someone doesn't know how to float, have you seen someone float before? Yeah. That's all I need for you and everybody else to understand what's going on inside there. Whenever we're floating, we hold still. Yeah. What happens when you start doing this thing? You go down. You sink. Same in the wind tunnel. So get inside there, smash a home run with floating. Once I get you floating and you're listening, blinking eyes in the wind tunnel tell us you're listening, right? This thing right here says, I don't know what's going on, which is fine because we'll keep you safe no matter what, right? Our goal is safety. The goal of the flyer is to have fun. Mm-hmm. And if things get out of control, we'll slow it down and start over again. But I think the most important thing for people coming in that have never done this is to understand that they can do it. One, it's a lot like floating. Even if you're not a good floater, because people still say that to me, I'm not good at floating. Listen to what I'm telling you, you're going to be best in the class. And usually that's what happens. Because that person that's not a good floater doesn't want to move. They're just going to do everything to kind of hold still. And that's really what you got to do, is hold still. What we will do is empower the flyers that come in we're going to give them the tools of empowerment. So one of the things, I really just tell them it's 3 things, but 2 of them are combined into one. One is keep your chin up. This is chin up, eyes on the horizon, right? Not this thing way up here. This is too much. This is chin up. And by keeping your chin up in this position, this is going to help you float. Okay. Now, if you can just do that, well, do that with looking forward. Excuse me. So chin up, looking forward, that's going to keep you balanced, right? This thing right here, moving your head all around, it's the same like doing this with your body. You're going to be sinking. But the most important one, what's this one?
Relax.
Do you know how to relax in the tunnel? Yes, you do. That's right. And it's actual. And so here's another thing that took me a long time to figure out, is that I would ask students, hey, what's this mean? And there's a signage and thing that says it up there, and they'll read it. Relax, breathe. No, I need you to demonstrate it for me, because this is demonstrating in the wind tunnel. How do you do this? Let me demonstrate, Matt. Now you demonstrate. Boom. That is how you do this in the wind tunnel, right? Don't read it to me. Don't say it to me, because being inside the wind tunnels, like being in the middle of a rock concert. You been to a rock concert?
Darn right I have.
So then you understand that it's nearly impossible to have a conversation. So inside the wind tunnel, we're going to use hand signals to communicate what we got to do to get it's a teamwork effort. It's not like we're wizards and we can just make you float out of nothing. You have to give exertion of your body to get it floating. But once you find that equilibrium of body positioning, it's almost effortless on your part, or the flyer's part, to stay in there and remain in there.
One of the things I nowhere even close to the time and energy and experience in the wind tunnel, but with the caliber of the individuals, Rob, you're going to get up to that level, and anybody who's ever, anybody learned a new skill. So first time flyer, usually the best flyers, right? You talked about the first time you're in a wind tunnel, you're like, I got this, man. You jump in and you're upside, you go, whoa, instructor's right there with you, right? But my first time, right? Let's talk about first time experiences, all around. I'd love to hear yours. Your stories are incredible, but same thing. But I went into it. I used it again. I always go back to the military. First time on a rifle range. I never grew up. I wasn't a hunter. My father took me hunting, taught me how to shoot rifles or anything, like nothing. First time I ever held a gun was at Marine Corps training, right? And I was like, oh my God, like this thing, I don't know what this thing is going to do to me, right? But what did I do? My mindset was, hey, just listen to the instructors. These people do this for a living, right? They're professionals. They're certified. There's legal ramifications, or not ramifications, but there's legalities behind why they can do the job they're doing. The best in the world. Listen, and you're going to get the classes, the hands of this. You don't need to memorize. And guys like Rob, guys like you in the wind tunnel, when you see this, when a guy's floating in front of you or standing next to you, and he just goes, breathe. Breathe, right? Now, never miss an opportunity to take a breath. Now you're like, okay, just listen to what they're telling you. And then 9 times out of 10, you know, other parts of the business return flyers, right? There's promotions we do with it, and you certainly get better deals with return flyers. But 9 times out of 10, that flyer, that kid, whether again it's a 3-year-old or up to 103, that's what we've flown and can fly in the tunnel. That's the availability is. I want to learn this. This is cool, man. I didn't know I can do that. Because let's be honest, like you said, when you come in, it's almost like a spectating sport just as much. It is a sport, right, internationally. But it's when you first time you're in, probably if you're coming in for your first, 30 minutes prior to a session, you're probably coming in on the tail end of somebody else's. Mm-hmm. And what do we do at the end of that? The instructors come in, and it's almost kind of like a little dance and show, hey, these are what these are the skills you can get up to. So when guys are head down flying, flipping around, going to the top of the tunnel, zooming in and out of the entrance, it could be almost. I mean, first time I saw it, I'm like, whoa, am I expected to do that? And then the next student comes in, a young 3-year-old gets in there, and he's floating, and like, oh, okay, I can do this. But listen to the instructors. They'll always keep you safe. Safety is paramount, as we always say. Listen to them and just have a good time. We're there. We're doing the job. We're going to take care of you, and you're going to come out 9 times up, 10 out of 10, you're having a good time. Again, I always say I've never seen a person leave. If you leave iFly, any iFly, forget about iFly Wilmington, but especially there, without a smile on your face, something drastically went wrong. But I've never seen it. And then I always use it. You guys hear it ad nauseum, but this will be, and it is in some other locations, but we plan on this being a skill set that, whether it's after school, kids, people, anybody can come and learn an advanced skill. There's a skills advancement program. So just like my daughter goes to horseback riding after school, and she has since she was 3, now she's an advanced rider when she's 7. She's continued to advance herself, and there will be summer groups, summer camps, and to learn something new and to see the confidence. And again, not just kids that are relatable as fathers and parents, but just confidence people have, whether you're coming in on just a fun group party, a birthday party, or a first-time flyer. A parent wants to, hey, I heard the new thing's in town. I want to go try it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be lights out. It's an incredible experience. It's what human being in the world has never dreamed of flying. I know there's some, but there's not many. So that's my pitch. So.
Well, that sounds incredible. I did want to ask you real quick. We only got a couple minutes left, but
okay.
And I'm wondering this myself. What is like the most frequent pain in the butt thing that people do as like, you have a class. It's like you'll have 2 people a day that are going to do this or ask this or say this. Like, is there any like frequent thing that instructors have to deal with that irks you?
No, I mean, listen,
like, is it the one skydiver in the group that shows up thinking he knows what the hell he's doing?
Well, I come from the oil field. Like my last job before this was from the oil field. And I always tell Pat, like, I always get this wrong the way I say it, but my hardest day in the tunnel doesn't even compare to my easiest day in the oil field. Right? I mean, I love this job. It's so no matter what people throw at me or give to me, one, as an instructor, you're going to be ingrained in it's going to be ingrained into you how to prepare or to see those things happen before they happen, right? For safety, right? Like, oh, I can see that this guy's going to try to do this on me, but no, I mean, I don't find it annoying personally. I mean, I actually, and if somebody is like, it's more like a puzzle in my head. Oh, their body's doing this. How do I get their body to do this?
Right.
Maybe one leg is a little bit kicked out, so maybe I offset that by trying to balance it out by either getting them to straighten the legs, arch more, right? But everybody's body is different. It's like a hand signature, right? Not everybody's writing, but not everybody's writing the same signature,
Right.
and your body has a signature. But you know, what's the common thing? I think, sometimes you'll have somebody go, "Can I do a backflip?" And it's like, no. I mean, not where. Let me ask you this: do you know how to backfly? No, I don't know how to backfly. So then, no, you're not doing a backflip. But, however, we'll teach you. If you keep coming back, we have other programs and avenues to get you to that level. But how many skydives do you have? 0? How much time in the wind tunnel do you have? None? No, you're not doing a backflip. But that's kind of a common expectation and thing, and it's a safety issue, right? We can get you there, but we want to get you there safe. We want everybody to walk out not only with a smile, but we want them to walk out on their own 2 feet.
Right.
Right.
Amen.
Yeah. Love it, brother.
Well, we are out of time for this episode. I appreciate you guys giving us insight into the first time flyer experience, but also what the instructor is dealing with and how to approach and how you approach classes. Do you guys have any final parting words?
All good.
Before
Again,
we cut the cord?
90 days away here in August, but please come out and see us. You'll see us around. It's going to be the hottest new thing in Wilmington for a long time coming.
Yeah, it's fun for the whole family.
Yeah, buddy.
I know. In time for the holiday season. In time for
Yeah.
my God, we're opening at the best time of the year. I'm super
Here's the
stoked.
question. I can put it out there now for those who tune in. There's no airplanes inside there. There's no parachutes, no planes. So they ask. We do get that sometimes. And how do you fly a plane in there? It's indoor inside a wind tunnel.
And no matter what weather, what's going on in the weather outside, it's always 75 degrees and sunny.
Amen.
Year round,
Inside the tunnel.
365.
Amen.
Maybe
It's
360.
like San Diego, but in Wilmington.
363.
That's
I
right.
guess. Yeah.
Well, rock and roll. I can't wait. I'm so grateful to be a part of the team with you guys.
Yeah,
It's gonna
buddy.
be very
Appreciate
much
it.
fun. Until next time, go contribute goodness to this world and book time in our wind tunnel at iflywilmington.com. Either your first flight, or if you're a skydiver, you need to join and become a member and start really honing your skills. And just come and watch our pretty faces do fun and cool things.
And also
So,
your shirt.
Yeah.
Don't forget about your shirt.
STEM.
Yep.
STEM, our STEM program. That is a huge part of our business model is STEM.
Yeah, science, technology, engineering, and math, K through 12, working on college programs now, military training programs, individual skills advancements programs, first-time flyers, group events, all
Math
available.
for Marines.
Oh, my crayons included.
Number 1 STEM program in the nation.
Yep. So it's a great program.
Rock and roll. Well, we'll get our STEM on too, so I'm looking
buddy.
forward to it. Anyways, appreciate your guys' time listening to us. Book time on our wind tunnel at iflywilmington.com, and we will see you soon. Bye.